Yo, what's up, everyone? Coffee and Six, episode 9.
Hey everyone, welcome back.
Yeah, okay, so today's topic is so I found out Robbie's a non believer in ghosts, and I am a believer in ghosts. So we'll talk about
Fuck
that.
ghosts.
Yeah, fuck ghosts. Mainly, I believe in them because I've had interactions with it, and I'm honestly quite scared of them. And but Robbie never has, so he just thinks it's all crap, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'm a top G. I don't give a shit about stuff like that.
Yeah.
But tell me your stories. Maybe you'll convince me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just so tired of telling this story because I've said it like 800 billion times already. Basically, my brother's friends, his light started glitching out, and we figured it was some kind of a ghost because my brother's friends is a very like prone to attracting spirits. He's always gotten locked out in a room where there's no lock on the door since he was a kid, and his grandpa died a week before this happened. So we figured probably something was up with this and the grandpa. And most people, we say the light's flickering and like it kept flickering after a question. So people say like, well, are you sure nobody was standing by the light switch? It's like, well, no fucking shit. Well, we checked that first.
Yeah, I don't. It just seems sus to me. Very sus.
That's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't expect people to believe it either. But basically, the story is we found out that the light flickers. We told the spirit that if it's a yes, flicker the light. If it's a no, just keep it the same. And every time we'd ask a question, it'd flicker or just stay the same. And it's always right after a question. And then this happened over the course of a few days.
Mm-hmm.
So they started inviting people. Like, yo, check this out. There's a ghost in his basement. Or, sorry, shouldn't have said the name, but this guy's basement. And they'd be like, whoa, what, really? And then, so 9 people came over. We asked them a bunch of, like, spiritual questions, like, is astral plane real? Are you stuck in it? Do you have a limited time in it? And then he said yes to all of them.
Wait, hold on. What's astral plane?
It's the space in between life and purgatory.
Wait, hold. But isn't purgatory in between life and like heaven?
Oh, purgatory and astral plane, I think it's interchangeable. I'm pretty sure.
Because that's a specifically a
Yeah.
Catholic belief. Like Protestants don't, and a lot of other sects don't believe in that.
Well, it doesn't matter if they believe in that. I guess it's true.
I guess so.
But basically, yeah, it was his grandpa, and basically he was mad because he didn't come by. I keep saying these fucking people's name. I'm gonna blur it all out and post the production. But yeah, my brother's friend, he was busy, so he couldn't make it to his grandpa's final few moments. He wanted the goodbye from him. So this guy says, "Oh, Grandpa, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I hope you rest in peace and whatever." And then the lights came back on normal, and we keep asking questions. Nothing would happen from then on. Yeah, I don't know.
Deep.
Like,
No, honestly, the story is one of the more believable ones for sure that I've heard because I don't think you wouldn't be lying to me. So you certainly believe it, and I don't know. It's certainly a strange story, and I don't necessarily not believe in ghosts because I want to believe in that shit badly.
don't.
Because for me, if ghosts are real?
Yeah.
That means that there is some sort of afterlife, or some sort of potentially hell, potentially heaven. Which that's all cool stuff for me. That means life gets more interesting after death. But I don't know. I'm just very, very skeptical. I used to watch those ghost hunter shows as a kid.
Well, that's why you're skeptical.
I know. And I watch those fuckers, and they're like green, night vision and shit.
Yeah.
When it's so fake, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, this is so scary. And then you realize, just like most things, when you get older, you realize everything was a lie.
Yeah.
And it breaks your heart.
I mean, the greatest evidence that I can, or the most convincing point I have for other people is that it's not just me that saw it. There was 8 other people there that can corroborate with the story. So, I mean, that's really the biggest evidence I have that it's legit. And I think one of the questions we asked his grandpa was, "Can we share the video?" And he said no. And then my brother tried to send it to me on iMessage, and it says something went wrong the first time he did it. So we just like, this has to be a sign. Let's just not send the video. So my brother has the video on his phone, but he can't send it to anyone. But I don't know if he still kept it or deleted it. But I can.
Dude, I mean that just sounds like. I can show you. Okay, but even I don't know. I've heard I've been big into like conspiracy theories and stuff like that, like alien stuff.
You still are.
Well, I don't believe these conspiracies. I like learning about them.
Sure.
But they just always the same. Like, I can't show you this. Oh, this and that, and it's the same old story. And so it's almost impossible to believe anything.
Yeah, I'm almost mad that somebody asked them, "Can we share this?" I've thought about it. I've thought about asking that, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna, because then I would know the answer in case he says no.
Right.
Well, so I'm mad that this guy asked it.
Yeah.
Because then if we didn't have the answer, then we could just share it, and then we wouldn't have to feel so damn guilty. But I mean, yeah. But anyways, after all of this stuff happening, my take on it now is because this shit spooked the shit out of me. I'm just gonna be a voluntary skeptic, because I want to believe that something explainable happened there, but we really can't. We checked everything, of course. The fuse boxes, the light switch, the remote.
But to be fair, if someone was in on it, they would be able to easily misdirect you.
Yeah.
So
sure.
That would be my biggest suspicion: is someone was in on it.
No.
Well, you could
absolutely no way.
You could say no, but
we legit checked everything.
Well, you checked everything, but whoever is in on it could easily misdirect you. So it's impossible to say.
Yeah.
And that would be a fantastic prank, I would say. That was something I would come up with.
No, you can't come up with this shit.
You
don't have IQ 200, Robbie. You're pretty smart, but you can't come up with that.
You want to hear an amazing prank I heard? So this older guy, he's got to be in his like 50s. He's a kind of like a friend of my dad's.
Okay.
And he had an amazing prank. And by the way, just give you some reference. I thought when he told me the story, I thought he was like a 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid.
Okay.
When he did this, because it's semi-illegal, the prank he did.
Okay.
And it's just fucking hilarious. So he was playing at a golf course, and this Asian man parks his car, walks to the golf store to sign in and stuff, but he had dropped his keys.
Okay.
And he was driving a nice car. I can't remember the car. And my dad's friend, he finds the keys where he had dropped them.
Yep.
And he's like, you know what? I'm going to fuck with this guy. So he drives his car and parks it at the furthest spot in the parking lot. and then they're drinking beers and shit, waiting for this guy to come back.
Okay.
And he comes back, and he looks for his car. And he's like, oh, where's my car? And he's freaking the fuck out. And he eventually calls the cops. And the cops come, and he's like, oh, someone stop my car. It looks exactly like that. And then he's like, oh, it's that one. So, and he's totally mind-fucked, right? Because think about it. Usually, you know exactly where you parked your car.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even though his car was right next, I guess it was close by.
Yep.
He must have been able to see it. But you're so mind-fucked because, who the fuck would move your car?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when he actually moved this guy's car. And he put the keys. He left the keys in there, in the car, so he would get them. And then he was so frazzled, I guess. When he drove out, he left his golf clubs right behind his car. So he drives right over them.
Oh.
And then he goes forward again, drives right back over them, and he's like, fuck this thing. He was absolutely not having it. And the police must have thought he was crazy too, like a drug addict. Like, that dude had the worst day ever. It was one of the evilest pranks I've ever heard. And these were like 50-year-old guys laughing their ass off doing this.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty mean.
Yeah, that was mean, but it was a hilarious story.
Was this
might be a hate crime.
Was this the one-eyed guy?
No, this was not. This guy was. No, he's not one-eyed.
Well, after decades of behaving all the time in front of your kids, it's bound to come out eventually.
That was elaborate. I just couldn't. I thought like I could. There's some friends I could see that would do that when they were younger and they're like 18, 19, but I didn't expect this from adult men. But hey, it was a good story.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I guess back to the ghost story though.
Sure.
You know, I guess I'm a skeptic now.
That's good. Well, it's not good, but it's.
Well, it's hard, but yeah,
it's hard. It is hard. It sucks not believing. Honestly, I don't like being a skeptic. Okay.
Sure.
It sucks because I want to believe in a lot of these things, and I do have theories about afterlives and stuff like that. But there's
especially
so
after
many
your DMT trip.
Exactly. That's what I think opened my. I was more open minded about potential afterlives and stuff like that. But there's so many scam artists out there, so many people who think they know the answers that I'm just sick and tired of it all.
It's just that the things I see on the internet, right? I'm skeptical about that, but I take people's stories very seriously.
Of course, I always do too. I do. I mean, back in my head, I'm maybe poking holes, but you gotta. If you want to get to the truth, you got to listen to what other people's perspectives are, for sure.
Yeah, because the things that my girlfriend was saying is very similar to some of the other videos I've seen on the internet.
Yeah.
Where I see it and there's just absolutely no way they could have faked the video.
Well, I would never say that.
It's just things floating by the window. So I would think by the window there has to be somebody lifting it or some shit.
There's so many ways.
I know.
Like just look at like movies like I don't know, like Lord of the Rings, for example. The original movie.
CGI?
They didn't. No, a lot of their shots they didn't use CGI.
The original ones, yes.
Yeah, but what the most impressive part was how they were able to do like height differences between like the hobbits and Gandalf and shit. And if you watch it, the sets are really elaborate. They used something called forced perspective, that people aren't actually sitting next to each other. They're actually sitting like almost like diagonal from each other.
Yeah.
But when it's shot on the camera, it looks like
I can see it.
It looks like one's taller, one's shorter, right? So what I'm saying is there's a lot of ways to manipulate how things look, especially on camera. So that's why it's you have to be careful about trusting
well, this was an iPhone recording, but I mean, I don't know. Like, if you showed me that video 2 years ago, I would have thought nothing of it.
Right.
But now that after that incident and like, oh man, yeah, like and like, excuse me.
Yeah, jeez, watch it.
Oh fuck! Well, I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, I'm gonna voluntarily just not believe in ghosts and try to accept that there's some kind of rational explanation to everything.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I want to go that far because it's almost like a coping mechanism for me, because this shit scares the fuck out of me.
Why does it scare you?
Oh, it just is. How is it not scary? Like, let's imagine you're living by yourself. Let's say you're excited to, oh yes, finally I'm independent now. I'm moving away from my parents. And then at nighttime shit starts like fucking floating around. If I was a non-believer, I'd probably think, it was probably just the wind. But now that I'm a voluntary skeptic, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try to think this is just wind. You know.
I don't know. I would only be scared if these things were malicious. Though from all the stories I've heard from people, it doesn't sound like
they're not all.
malicious.
Yeah, they're not always bad demons. They're not always bad spirits. Some are they just have unfinished business and just stick around. I don't know why. I guess you just can't go.
Well, that's the idea of like purgatory. It's like it's like a waiting. It's like a waiting. You're waiting in line to receive your go to judgment. Yeah. Or like some people say, like if you have a lot of trauma or like a real connection to something on Earth, then it like ties you down, I guess.
Yeah.
But I personally I'd love to believe that kind of shit. And I do, like, these stories you have told me, they push me closer to believing it, for sure. Okay. Even though I'm very skeptical. Like I said, I do love hearing people's perspectives, because I certainly don't have all the answers.
Yeah, and another thing was that one of the people I know of, said that she saw a Bigfoot's nest while she was hiking.
Okay.
I've heard some realistic Bigfoot stories.
Bigfoot, okay. Bigfoot,
Come on,
we're straying.
You don't think there's monkeys out in the trees in North America?
I think
big monkeys.
I think it's highly possible.
Yeah.
That something like Bigfoot existed or
Just,
has existed. Like, oh, I think it's definitely possible. I think it's also just as likely that it's another animal that we think is Bigfoot. But I've never seen any good evidence.
Because okay.
Like, have you seen that original video? Like, that shit looks fake as fuck now.
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I don't know
like
what you're talking about.
It was like the OG Bigfoot.
Oh.
Video, and it was like back in the day when conspiracy. I hadn't even heard the word conspiracy theory, but this is where they started with Bigfoot and shit. Bigfoot's like, why would you die on the Bigfoot hill, man? Like, that's such. At least die for like aliens and like ancient lost civilizations. Like, that shit's at least it's almost impossible to completely deny.
Okay, I'll tell you a few stories I've heard.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, my friend's mom used to be in the Girl Scouts when she was younger, and she just she got lost in the woods, got sidetracked from the group, and she said she saw this nest with a very putrid smell, and 30 years later she decided to look it up somehow, and then she found out that's one of the the things that people suspect is a Bigfoot's nest. So she's thinking, okay, maybe that was a Bigfoot's nest. So that's one story. The second.
Wait. Did she describe this nest at all?
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's just all this twigs and stuff nearby and everything that they say. Because there's no animals that would do this.
There's no animals that would do that. Okay.
Yeah, what mountain lions don't make their nests.
Right.
There's no animals that make nests that big.
But why are they suspecting it's a Bigfoot nest? Like,
it's just one of the things that because Calgary, Alberta has one of the highest Bigfoot / Sasquatch sightings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
dude, it's Alberta. It's pine trees and native spirits everywhere. It's Alberta.
That's true. That is true. We must have I bet we have a high rate of like alien sightings as well.
No, I don't. Think so.
That's the weird part, because you hear a lot of these stories happen in the woods and shit.
People literally fly out to Alberta to possibly see Bigfoot,
Bro.
man. These
I bet Joe Rogan's come out here a couple of times.
Yeah. These rich people who are into weird hobbies, they come out. They'll pay thousands of dollars for the potential one in a million chance they'll get to see Bigfoot.
And the best part, I don't think many of these people are actually rich. Yeah. They're just incredibly passionate Bigfoot fans.
They're just irresponsible financially. But yeah, okay. The second story is almost every hunter in Alberta has a Bigfoot story here. And so my friend's friend, she's a rather older. My friend's neighbor. She owns a big piece of land, and a lot of hunters have to come by and ask her if they can hunt overnight if they're spending overnight. So yeah, this guy, she knew him, so she said, yeah, you can stay here, you can camp out like over there, and yeah, he said he came back. He came back like at like 1 a.m. and he was just ringing her doorbell like frantically, and he was just fucking beat up. He said, like he was just fucking beat up, and he said he doesn't know what any other animal that might do that other than like a Bigfoot.
Or it's a big black guy who wanted to fuck his ass. Probably, but the most Occam's razor would lead me to that.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Those are the sightings or / experiences that people that's close to me have told me. So, you know, Bigfoot.
I didn't know that. I didn't know there was a lot of Bigfoot fans out here.
Okay, Bigfoot, I feel I'm a little skeptic on that one. Ghosts, I want to be a skeptic, and the Bigfoot, I for sure know is crap.
I think Bigfoot, I find so unlikely just because we would have found skeletons or something. Mm-hmm. It just, with all the apparent sightings, you're telling me one hasn't been hit by a car?
Yeah.
You're telling me that we find fossils of like million-year-old dinosaurs, but we never found a Bigfoot fossil?
Well, maybe it's a spiritual creature.
Okay, I've never heard anyone take that angle, but
yeah,
I don't know what evidence would you have?
It's just like anything else in the native cultures.
Like Wendigos, ever heard of those?
No, but no, I haven't.
They're like a native belief of what happens. I think it was like if you are a cannibal
Yeah.
you turn into this like demon spirit thing, and it's like a terrifying thing that it's almost like a ghost. It's basically a ghost story they have, or like a vampire story.
Okay.
It's really interesting though.
We'll put a pin on Cannibals because I got something to say about those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. What was I gonna say?
You're saying,
do you know about Skinwalkers?
I know about Skinwalker Ranch. Are they related?
What? In Ranch?
Skinwalker Ranch?
No, I don't know what that is. But Skinwalkers are the wolves that that are bipedal.
I've never heard of that, no.
Yeah, so I've also have stories of professors talking about how they once bought a property and they saw this wolf coming by.
Yeah.
And it just basically looked forever like they're coming this direction, but it would just stay there. But at nighttime, they would get on twos, like stand up, and he saw it. He said he saw it with his fucking binoculars.
You're saying a professor told you this?
Yeah.
Fuck.
See,
this shit gets me excited when I hear this shit, because it's like, one theory I've had is, or I've heard of, it's like people like you know what like schizophrenia is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you hallucinate and shit. What if the shit those people are seeing is real, but it's just like too much for the brain to handle? Is why like we can call it a mental disorder.
I don't know. Oh, that's too deep.
But what I'm saying is like this shit everyone sees.
Yeah.
Because I do like that idea of Bigfoot not actually being like a living being, but being like some kind of spiritual thing. And there's like ideas that schizophrenia is like all these things they see are always exist, but most people just aren't tapped into it. And that's why a lot of people with schizophrenia just go nuts. Or not, actually, that's not true. A lot of people with schizophrenia are actually completely normal.
Yeah.
They just see hallucinations, and but it's like a spectrum like everything else. What if the things they're seeing is like anyone can see it under the right conditions, right?
Yeah.
And then I guess the next question is like, what are we seeing? What are they seeing? Because these things, I think the biggest thing why they don't have any evidence is because you might be right. Maybe these things are not like a physical thing.
Because I know for a fact that spirituals can have some form of effect in the real world.
Right.
So one of the things that my friend was telling me about, that her house, she moved into a condo, and like they were storing soda bottles to see who's got the most power in the real world. So anytime she left like empty soda bottles, it would always be like on the floor, and her cats would go run upstairs. So they do have some effect. So that's why I think maybe if Bigfoot is a spiritual creature, maybe he has some ability to make a nest.
See, the nest thing, I would just drop that.
No, look it up. The Bigfoot nest is a very common thing. It's not.
I would drop, if you're gonna go with the spiritual thing, which I think is I've never heard that about Bigfoot, but honestly, that's the most believable thing. Maybe we're gonna start our own Bigfoot ideas here, but I think that's the most believable thing I've ever heard on Bigfoot, is that it's actually not a real thing, but it's like a spiritual.
Yeah, Bigfoot nest. Look it up on Google. Oh, wow, you're using Google.
Yeah.
Look at you now.
Yeah.
Big balls Robbie.
I know. We need those hot images. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like a nesting.
I guess, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, I could definitely...
Look at this.
Yeah. Well, he's being a little silly.
I don't know. Like, the thing is, I believe that it's certainly possible. See, this is like the original footage. Like, this is the one like I saw like a decade ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that actually.
But it's clearly fake. That one's definitely fake.
How do you know it's fake? Is it a guy in a costume?
Yeah, well, that's what people suspect. I mean, like, I guess it's impossible to completely prove, but I don't know. These nests and stuff. Like, are you sure there's no other animals that can create like they would have known by now. Definitely man-made. These could easily be man-made and shit.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
I guess so, yeah. But then how do you describe the smell? Because all of these have a very distinct putrid smell. Like, is someone putting liquid ass all over these? Like,
it's homeless people, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nasty shit.
But I guess we'll get back to the cannibals.
Sure,
because we put a pin on it. But
Hannibal Lecter is one of my favorite characters.
Who?
Hannibal Lecter.
I was talking about cannibals.
He's the alpha cannibal.
Oh, okay. What's it called? Hannibal then? Okay.
Hannibal the cannibal.
Okay. Yeah, basically, I found out that cannibals, they think it gives them like immortality or something.
Yeah.
But it's actually quite the opposite. It actually makes you sick.
Yeah, if you eat brains.
Yeah, that's how mad cow disease started.
Mm-hmm.
It's like nature's way of forbidding cannibalism.
Well,
it's like,
you can eat everything but the brain.
yeah, but I don't know. But it's like saying like this is inherently terrible to do. It's like yeah, like if you eat somebody's brain,
yeah,
you can die real quick.
Yeah, you get I can't remember what exactly the process is, but yeah, it's there used to be tribes, like native tribes or European tribes, Asian tribes, whatever. That used to. Well, what I'm trying to say is it was very common.
It sounds like you're trying to play it safe and not trying to attack one particular race there.
No, who gives a shit? These are ancient civilizations,
okay.
You know. But they used to believe like eating the brains would give you the abilities of the person you ate.
So dumb.
Or cannibalism in general. Believed like it would give you the power or the abilities of the person you ate, and various different beliefs on that, depending on where you are in the world. But yeah, cannibalism. I say we bring it back.
I mean, I'd assume that we taste a lot like pork, though.
I mean, that's a big assumption. I don't know. I have no idea what humans taste like. I think there's got to be something in us biologically that makes it disturbing to eat. Like, for example, we find like dead bodies, human bodies, particularly disturbing, and I think that's a biological thing.
Yeah.
Because it's, I don't know. I think it's just we get really disturbed by that stuff, or at least most normal people.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have a hard time actually eating a human. I think the easiest way would be you wouldn't know. And then
probably, yeah.
Like one of my favorite episodes in Walking Dead was when they go to the.
Yeah.
What was that place called? When they go to
Can't remember, but it's Garrett.
Yes, Garrett was the head of the cannibal little cult. There's also an amazing scene in Last of Us, which like similar like Walking Dead post-apocalyptic thing where another like they meet like a cannibal encampment, and it's like especially in a post-apocalyptic world, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, Rick was basically like, you're sick.
No.
And then Garrett.
No.
But Garrett was basically saying, you don't know what it's like to be hungry.
That's true. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, if you think about it, since the day I was born, I've never gone like more than like 4 hours, 5 hours without eating.
More like half an hour for you. Holy shit.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That is true. I don't think people realize how animalistic you get when you don't have your basic necessities.
Yep.
Like if like there's stories of people who have been super dehydrated and they'll drink their own piss like it's fucking water because they're so dehydrated. There's people who would eat anything, like fucking grass if they could when they're starving. Like people don't realize like how like much like animals we are when they're put in situations like that.
Yep.
We're like so privileged, all of us. Anyone that's lives in even a relatively nice place, like if you're not starving every day, then man, we got it good.
That's why I don't believe in this fat people saying that it's their genetic. No.
Well, that's a factor, but
overeat.
It's of course a factor, but it's not a good excuse. It's just not. It's like
I mean,
it's just
no
not.
one. You can never genetically form to be morbidly obese like that.
No. So you can be overweight for sure.
Go fucking run, you fat little fuck.
No, it's not a good excuse. Absolutely not. It's a load of crap. But yeah, people will use it till the day they die.
Yeah. All right. I gotta head out in maybe like 20 minutes, so we'll like wrap up with the final topic, I guess.
Sure.
And our final topic was, so I have some change of perspective in terms of dating since I met my new girlfriend.
Okay. What was your old perspective again?
Oh, old perspective was just like, I I gotta be like this and that to be get a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. I was like, I gotta be real witty.
Yeah.
I gotta be real smart. I gotta be real charismatic, which I still think is. Mm-hmm. But this girlfriend feels very it's too soon to say that she's the one. Because we're still in the honeymoon phase right now. Yeah. But like, I've never met a girl that was this effortless to get along with. Mm-hmm. So it's like she's definitely. I feel like I've met someone who's actually more compatible to me.
That's good.
And I guess I just look back on how I was doing things before, and I'm just like, why did I try so hard before?
Right. Like you were trying to force things. That
there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing I needed to change about myself. Damn. All I had to do was just meet the right person, right?
That's some good self-realization. No, I think.
Granted, like I was still working out. I was still on grind mode, always trying to make things better. And like, I don't know, I guess I don't really remember working on my charisma, but like, I guess one of the common things that people like me about is that I'm quite unfiltered.
Yeah, you definitely are.
Yeah, so she really likes that. I guess, I don't know, I guess I've always had my thing. I mean, I'm a pretty good looking guy, dare I say myself.
Hell yeah.
So I guess, but like, other than those things, I do remember those times on Tinder or Bumble. Mm-hmm. I was like, ooh, it's the best line. There's no best line. I know, dude. You either get along or you don't.
No, that's honestly so true. Like, I've had similar experiences, like, figuring out, like, you try to, like, mold yourself to be something that you think, you mold yourself into this, like, vision you think is going to be the one that's going to work. Yeah. But at the end of the day, one thing I've certainly learned is like just trying to pretend to be someone you're not. It just doesn't work out in the long run. You just can't do it. You just can't like fake who you are. Yeah. Forever, and so there's no point. And I think Shane is absolutely right. Like, there's gonna be someone who's gonna like you. If you are unfiltered, there's gonna be some people who don't like that. But there's gonna be other people that do. So it's just a matter. I think that. Saying that you're not struggling or you don't have to like, what you say? It's not, you don't have to. It's like easy for you, right? You're not You're not trying super hard. I think that's like perfect. Yeah, and that's a perfect place to be, and that's something I'm looking for as well.
Robbie, you're gonna find it real soon, man.
I hope so, Shane. Well, you know what? I've never been in a rush. And don't be. For me, I was always. For me, like once I like had enough sex and shit, I was like, okay, sex is great, but I'm just not really into like hookups and stuff. Mm-hmm. I want to find something like real. Yeah. So I've never been in a huge rush to find something, but
and I think if you are, you're not gonna find it.
Yeah.
I originally went on Bumble. I don't know. This is back in like May or April. I actually originally went on just to find a fuck buddy. Right. I actually didn't see this coming. But yeah, I mean, it was basically I had major commitment issues, but like she was just perfect. Mm-hmm. So it was like, if I pass this up because I have commitment issues, something's really fucking wrong with me. Right. So I was like, yeah, well,
that's good.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, like, but I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, it's kind of lucky. I'm kind of lucky. I'd say it's like anything, 30% hard work, 70% luck. Yeah. The 30% was me, looking good, working out. Yeah. Yeah. Staying unfiltered. Yeah. Shit like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I really did anything per se to get this. I just kind of was myself and.
No, I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's the most recent realization. I guess this is why I don't want to share this podcast with my girlfriend. She wants to know what it is and whatever. But it's like this basically like unfiltered thoughts, right. But like things I would never say in front of her.
No. I honestly think this is the. That's I think amazing advice.
And yeah, if you go back enough, I'll like talk about that time I canceled on her, and I'm like, oh, right. What should I do to make up for it? She doesn't need to know all of this.
Yeah. I am curious about her opinions on ghost shit.
Oh, she believes in it.
I know. Which is, I just want to I need to meet more people that know about ghost stuff. I just want to hear from their fucking face.
Kind of scared me though. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. This shit gets me fucking rock hard. So I just love learning about this kind of stuff, and I love other people's. Honestly, I didn't think many people believed in this kind of stuff until I started meeting people that were like started to run into like flat earthers and people that believe the government's run by aliens and shit. I'm like, okay, all right, I can dig. This is this is actually legit. Okay, let me learn about it. Yeah. And whether or not I believe it doesn't, at the end of the day, doesn't really matter. But I don't know. It's fun.
It is fun.
It is fun at the end of the day.
Well, ghosts are not fun.
I don't know why are you so negative about ghosts?
Because fuck that. How do you
what?
not? You can't beat up a ghost.
So?
How do you punish a misbehaving spirit?
Can you beat up an alien?
I think so. Yeah. If he's real, I'll fuck him up. He's like
no,
a small,
are you kidding me?
Skinny.
If they can travel to Earth, they have technology to fucking destroy you.
I'd fuck him up, dude. I have so many knives.
Sorry.
Okay, anyways, here's
That's
two
bullshit.
ways I've thought about believing ghosts, and this is why I'm a skeptic, okay?
Yeah.
So number one way to beat any evil spirits is you have to be so religious and faithful to God that they wouldn't even dare fuck with you.
Yeah.
Because you'll probably just get zapped by God. Okay? Second is you just don't believe in ghosts at all.
Sure.
And
okay.
you're just such a believer in rational explanations that nothing a demon does to you is you're just unhinged.
I don't think that's possible. I think my guess. My guess is that
wait, what's
demons,
not possible? What are you saying is not
I think
possible?
not believing in ghosts isn't going to stop them. I think the only way my guess is they're attracted by emotions and shit.
Yeah, and
so
fear?
unless you have no emotions, you can't ever stop them.
Yeah, I think it's fear because if the more you're scared, I think they feed into that.
I think any emotion would be like that's typically what a lot of belief in demons is. It's all emotion based, lust and anger and fear and all these things. Yeah,
because when in your house, if something starts moving and you ignore it, they're gonna do more of that. They want to evoke a reaction from you. Mm-hmm. So what you have to do is you have to recognize it, and then just kind of shrug it off.
You. You're not that interesting.
Yeah, and
go back to purgatory, bitch.
Yeah, so you don't want to completely ignore it. Because once you ignore it, it's gonna get angry. It's gonna do more of what it was originally doing. Mm-hmm. But then you kind of have to just recognize. I don't know how to explain it, but you want to be somewhere in between, not completely ignoring it and then ignoring it. You kind of want to be in between there.
Honestly, I think I did go through that phase because I was really scared. When I was a kid, I don't know. I think I had some weird shit where I was hearing stuff. I was hearing voices and shit. It was really scary. And
minor schizophrenia?
It might have been. Honestly, I've been thinking about that the last couple of days.
Okay.
And I don't think so, because I think if I did have any form of that, the smoking weed would amplify that. Mm-hmm. And I'd be in a very dark place. But so I don't know what the fuck it was. But I think I was just young and had a really overactive mind.
Oh, and remember that time you said there was a presence you felt while you were sleeping? You were probably experiencing sleep paralysis.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one realization I have come to is when I was a kid, I remember waking up, and I don't think I realized at the time, but I couldn't move, and I saw this like shadowy figure with glowing red eyes staring at me, and I was like, "Hello, Dad!" Like I and it was scary as shit. I don't remember being scared. I was just confused.
Yeah.
And then I closed my eyes and just tried to go back to sleep. And it took me like decades to realize, or I guess decade, to realize, that was sleep paralysis.
That's what everybody says. They can't move and they saw this dark figure.
Yeah, it was dark figure and like glowing eyes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the glowing eyes. That might be specific to you, but dark figure and can't move, classic sleep paralysis.
Dude, isn't it weird as fuck? Like we see, like there's paintings hundreds of years old.
I was just gonna say that
of sleep paralysis. It's such a weird it's such a weird thing where that so many people have experienced it. Like look at all these images.
Yep.
Are all of sleep, and it's always specific where these things are like on your chest.
Yep.
You're paralyzed. There's shadowy things.
That's something I also never wish I could go my life without experiencing, because fuck that.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But it's bizarre that like, yeah, look at that. Holy fuck. That'd
be fucking scary.
I wonder if there's anything to it. Like, what if it's some kind of like demon that's feasting on your nightmares or something?
I don't know. I don't even want to think about it.
Man, now I think about it, I want to look into some theories of this shit.
But I know a lot of people that's experienced sleep paralysis.
It's like a fucking demon Bigfoot. Oh my god.
I should probably wrap it up and head out now. So that's end of episode 9. I think the way I want to do this is maybe 1 week we do hard-hitting questions about society, and then 1 week of
just like a chill, fun topics like this.
Sure. Yeah, because it was exhausting to do hard-hitting questions like that every week. It just started making the podcast feel more like a chore.
Yeah.
Whereas if we do, because that's what we normally talk about. Is, we'll just
random shit,
and then sometimes we get into like, is depression real? Is anxiety real? Shit like that. So maybe that'll be next week's podcast. Yeah. Is mental health even like, serious?
Okay.
I mean, it is, but I mean, is it to the degree that people say it is? Can you really use mental health as excuse to not be doing stuff?
No. Well, okay. Yeah. This is a whole.
Save it for next week.
This is a whole complex topic.
I'm giving a preview for next week's topic.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Cool. Peace out.
Peace.